With the release of Final Fantasy VII Part 1 and 2, there were some minor and major changes to the game, and scenes that helped improve the gameplay compared to the original. However, the scene in which consumers and myself thought the creator really messed up on was Aerith's death. In the original game, when Aerith dies, Cloud gives this emotional statement to Sephiroth, saying to shut up, the cycle of nature and your stupid plan don't mean a thing, Aerith is gone, Aerith will no longer talk, no longer cry, laugh, or get angry. What about us? What are we supposed to do? What about my pain? My fingers are tingling, my mouth is dry, my eyes are burning. This was something that wasn't shown in the game, which I felt was a really big miss on the developer part, because having this emotion and quote said by Cloud, you can truly portray his feelings and emotions of sorrow and sadness all in one scene. If he just had the chance to say that quote. But since he never did, I feel like it ruins the emotional scene and the powerful impact it could have had for consumers for a beloved character that they're finally saying goodbye to a character they've been with since part 1 and now part 2 of the game. I found that some consumers were very upset by the scene, believing that it wasn't done enough justice and the creators could have done so much more. In this statement right here I found, it said, some people have been upset about Aerith's death in FF7 Rebirth because they felt that the game did not do her justice. Aerith's death is a shocking moment that represents the sudden loss of a loved one. In the original Final Fantasy VII, Aerith's death is unexpected, and in moments is shown that with stark clarity, the music halting a somber piano, playing as Sephiroth's sword pierces her chest. However, some say that the game doesn't allow players to say goodbye to Aerith and grieve for her loss, as they did in the original game. Others have expressed uncertainty about whether Aerith's death is final, as a rainbow light flies from the blade after Cloud deflects Sephiroth's attack, suggesting that a new world may have been created where she survived. Now, this statement leads to the idea of a multiverse theory for me. And how many people believe now that there's probably different routes that are going to happen in Final Fantasy Part 3, suggesting that there's a new world that has been created where she survived. Now, this statement is crucial because in the ending scene, before they leave to find Sephiroth, Cloud and only Cloud can see Aerith and talk to her like a normal person. So, I found a couple theories of what this could mean. Number one, it could just mean that Cloud has found Aerith in a different dimension. Number two, Cloud was the only one who could see and talk to Aerith due to the clear materia she had left him. She might already convince Cloud that she would lead the party and everyone agree or don't tell anyone. And third, as for Cloud, he sees Aerith several times throughout the film. It's not that he sees her because he feels her presence, he sees her because her conscience lives inside of him. Now, since the multiverse is activated, I feel, for part 3, it makes me wonder a lot about, okay, since we do have a potential multiverse in a way, can we save Aerith from her potential fate against Sephiroth? But if we do save her and stop Sephiroth, would the post-events of Cloud defeating Sephiroth happen? These post-events I'm talking about are like events like Advent Children, where Cloud was really fucked up, constantly blaming himself for Aerith's death. In him developing Geostigma, Kadaj emerges as the villain of Advent Children, and Kadaj, in short, is basically a Sephiroth clone in the movie. And he ends up absorbing the Genova cells in the box at the end of the movie and transforms into Sephiroth. Now imagine this. In the final fight, with Sephiroth one-winged angel form, if they keep that script alive, we could be potentially using a team of Aerith, Cloud, and Zack. Zack coming into this equation because he was present and alive in part 1 and 2. Could that scenario be possible? That could be possible. If it does, it could be cool. But let's say that scenario does happen. I hope it becomes like an alternate scenario, because no matter how much beloved these characters are, their death had a reason and had a major impact in Cloud's development as a character. And if they were to fully come back in part 3 of the game, in a sense, I feel like that would erase all the development Cloud had made all the way up to Advent Children. But I think if Aerith and Zack does come back in some way, somehow, I think they should find a way to have different routes of it, where there's like a main route where you fully defeat them in a proper way, and an alternate routes based on like how you play the game. Now, you may be asking me, how are you so sure that there are multiple worlds now and we have a multiverse, right? Well, from this tweet here. So basically, this tweet is by Audrey. She says, Nojima confirms that there are indeed multiple worlds in the game, and that aspects of the story, along with the mystery surrounding Aerith's white material, will be made clear in FF7 Part 3. In fact, he says it's almost done writing the main scenario for Part 3. And there will be a tumultuous build of events leading to the ending, but he hopes that everyone looks forward to it. Toriyama also mentions he hopes to bring an amazing conclusion for the world of Final Fantasy VII in Part 3. This interview was made February 2nd, 2024, so Nojima should be done with the main story already. This part of the statement where Toriyama hopes he can bring an amazing conclusion for the world in Part 3 makes me wonder, okay, if this is the end of Final Fantasy VII remakes and there's probably won't be another one, I'm gonna guess that they're planning to satisfy all the fan bases and have alternate scenarios for the ending of Final Fantasy VII and give the consumers the ending that they want. This could potentially mean that they're developing different routes, multiple ending routes, depending on how you play the game, secret routes, all that other good stuff. However, since we have a multiverse now, there's just so many things in Part 3 that could actually happen that I just honestly don't know what to expect to appear. I hope they keep the canon route that they had in the original game the same as it was before, and they don't change it too much. And if they do change it, I hope that becomes like an alternate route that you could have that's achievable in the game. I feel like if they take away like the death of Aerith and she just magically comes back alive, I feel like it ruins the character development of Cloud, because without her death and Zack's death, he doesn't become the person he is in Advent Children. I'm not saying like it's a bad or like a good thing that they come back alive. I'm just saying like I hope they find a way, if they do come back, that the events of Advent Children is still like possible and does have meaning to it. Alright guys, if you enjoyed that video, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and I'll see you guys later. Take care.